presentation of TFNN.
Sylvester Stallone knew his whole life what he wanted to do. For him, it was a chance to inspire others. Life wasn't easy. At birth, he was pulled out by forceps. It's why he looks and speaks the way he does. 1,500 agents said, "No, you're not an actor." His first 3 scenes led to nothing, but he never gave up. Sly sold his first script, Paradise Alley, for $100. That money didn't last long. The last thing he had left was his dog. He got $25. That was rock bottom. He cried, and soon after, watched a fight between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. Wepner went 15 rounds but was pounded to a pulp. It inspired Sly, and he wrote for 20 hours straight the entire Rocky movie. Tried to sell it, but nobody wanted it. Too predictable, too sappy. Sly saved those comments and read them to himself the night he won the Oscar. Sly never gave up. One day, 2 guys offered to buy the script for $125,000. Sly said with one condition, "I'm Rocky." "No way. We need a star like Ryan O'Neal to play Rocky." Can you imagine? The same guys called him back and offered him $250,000 not to star in his own movie. Sly said no. They countered with $325,000. Sly said no. They compromised. $35,000, points in the movie, and Sly would play Rocky. Rocky has grossed over $225 million and the entire franchise over $1 billion. What's your Rocky moment, folks? What's your vision? Your unstoppable success? You were born to be a money master. The time is now to take massive action.
Let's go over to Don in Odessa, Florida. Don, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Steve. Thank you.
You bet. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm a subscriber to your service, and I just want to let you know that I sure do appreciate what you've done for me.
Wow.
Couple months ago.
Thank you very, very much.
The Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning from TFNN. Welcome to the October 21st terrific Tuesday edition of today's opening bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Perseverance Rhodes, and I believe we should not be prisoners of our past, but instead pioneers of our future. So let's make sure that you and I, that we do everything that we can to make it a pioneering day. Of course, one of the best ways that we can do that is to always remember the power of letting go. Now, the power of letting go best reflected in one of my stories. I do love telling stories. And this is a story about 2 Zen monks. 2 Zen monks, they were on their way to the market one day when they came across a large puddle. That puddle prevented them from continuing on without getting dirty. Now, standing next to the puddle was this fair maiden, and she wished to continue on as well. To solve the problem, one of the monks offered to carry her across the puddle out there. And even though this kind gesture violated his vows, and those vows were to never speak, to never touch, never have contact with a woman, but he decided it was the right thing to do. And once safely across the puddle, the woman thanked him. She went on her way. The 2 monks, they went on their way as well. But for the entire day, they didn't speak to each other, whether as they went to the market, as they got back to the monastery. In fact, when they got back to the monastery, the monk who'd watched his friend carry the woman across, all of a sudden, he said to him, "How could you be so unfaithful and sacrilegious?" And he said this over and over and over again. "How could you take your vows so lightly?" Continued on for like about an hour. Finally, the monk who did the good deed, he turned to his fellow monk and he said, "Hey, I'm the one who violated my vows by carrying her across the mud puddle. But whereas I put her down several hours ago, you continue to carry her." Folks, practice the power of letting go, because nothing could be more truer for the markets that we trade, whether you are a bull or a bear. Something to think about. Hey, I'd love to hear from you. Just pick up the phone, dial in at 877-927-6648, 727-445-1044. That's our international number. Baby, you've got a monk story that we'd all love to hear. Of course, it is Terrific Tuesday. This is Tiger Financials Network. I'm Steve Rhodes, and welcome to the show. Dow Futures up 68 points right now. They're trading out at 16,399. S&P futures up 11. They're trading out at 1911. NASDAQ up 38 points, trading out at 3904. Russell 2000 up 5. Goldilocks up 8. Silver up 25 cents right now. Even light sweet crude getting in on the action. That's up $1. You got King Dollar up 16 pennies. She's trading out at 85.20 or so. Let's see, what do we have going on across the pond out here? Let's take a look at Europa. The DAX in Germany up 1 3/10%, up 120 points. The FTSE up 1%, up 63. Sounds to me like a significant bottom is in this marketplace. Of course, you know Stevie-san has been calling for this for quite some time. This is the beginning of the Santa Claus rally. It is a bit early. Hey, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't expect pullbacks, but the bottom is in. Again, our call number 877-927-6648. Let's go take a look at some things here that are popping in the marketplace here. We got the Hog, Harley Davidson, HOG is the ticker symbol, closed at 58.38 right now, trade out at 62.75. Net income for the third quarter, 150.1 million versus 162 million, so a little bit light in the loafers on the net income line. Revenues light as well. Nonetheless, this is trading to the upside. Let's go see what is up at the 62.75 level inside the Hog. Of course, there's a nice sign of strength out here. Not right at the highs, but not too far away from the highs. Inside of Harley-Davidson took place on April 22nd out there. The swing point inside of Harley-Davidson, its most recent swing point is really what I should say. That takes you into the September 11th, 2014 area, the bottom of which is 64.30. The top is 66.51. It looks like that is likely where price is going to head to. There's actually a little junior swing point out here that took place on October the 6th. That high is $60.80, so it's traded above that. So it's going to set its targets on this $65 area. In fact, there is a bit of resistance right here. So let's take a look at that resistance. There was a gap down with some pretty decent volume. That took place on the trading session of July 22nd, 9.2 million shares down there. The top of that candle is actually at 64.50, the low is 62.52. So what's it trading at? 62.60. Okay, so that's where it's trading. We'll see if it can garner some strength. That's a decent supply line. But because it happened just a few months ago, back in July, Harley, the Hog, should be able to overtake that. We'll see how that trades during the session here this morning. Also to the upside out with numbers was Apple. Apple closed out at 99.76, trade out at 102.84. Of course, we took a look at this stock chart here yesterday, and what we pointed out was that all the work to the downside had been done, right? It couldn't bust out the lows. How is it that the chart knew what was going to, how basically, they're coming out with numbers, right? But in the case of Apple, September the 9th, I think that was one of their release dates out there, 189 million shares, and that thing pushed lower, pushed higher, it pushed every which way. Well, the work to the downside had already been done. What do I mean by that? Well, we take a look at the low of that trading session out there, which was 96.14. The volume on that day, 189 million shares, was tested twice. October 15th, only 100 million shares. Rejected it, closed back above it, couldn't bust it down. Same thing as our markets were making. Our markets making low on the October 15th, October the 16th out here. What was Apple doing? Testing it on only 72 million shares, rejected it. What do we say that Apple was likely to do? Go test the highs. Well, in this case here, what Apple's going to do, it's going to go take on that 103.74, that 102.72, and only 53 million shares up there. Apple should be able to blow that away, I would think, today, the way that it's trading, at least the upside. If it does take that out, you got all kinds of A to B equals CD patterns that this would be setting up. Your 1-to-1 A to B equals C. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Your 1-to-1 A to B equals CD pattern. Your small one is really what I should say. Your small one would take you to, and that's coming off of the low here from August the 8th. That's your A point, your B point September 2nd, your C point being that October 15th level. 1-to-1 only gets you at 105.64, but that's such a small A to B equals CD. I'd have to say 108.49, and maybe even much larger than that. But right now, let's see what Apple does here today at that 103.74 mark. That is where Apple is headed to. Also moving in the markets out here, let's see, to the downside, let's just check out a couple of things here. Then we'll go take a look at the futures markets, gold, silver, light sweet crude. Rhino Resources RNO is a ticker symbol. This is getting the kibosh. What the heck is going on out here? They're going to pay 5 cents per common unit distribution, so there must be something else going on out here. I'll read about it during the break. So we'll take a look at something else. How about ARM Holdings, ARMH? That is that's a company there that is I think it's just a royalty-based technology type-driven company out here, kind of a royalty troll. Only maybe a little bit better than that. If we take a look at ARM Holdings, it closed out at $41.56, trading out at $39, even Steven. And it seems like, here's the chart. Let's go see what it's trading at. So $39 is going to take you below, $38.89 is the swing point from October 13th. So that's where it's headed. Not as if it's a high volume swing point, but this could be, here's the high volume. It's going to trade below that. If it breaks that level here of $38.99, is that the number? $38.89. It probably heads all the way down to the swing point from June 24th, right around the $34.75-ish type range out there. Let me put this on a weekly basis, see what ARM Holdings here is doing. Nothing like earnings season, huh? Lots to take a look at inside of a stock chart out here. As we take a look at a weekly chart, you'd have to say that's probably the target area for this equity, which is in the $34.75 range if it breaks through that 30.99-ish type range. I believe that was the number out there. Let's go take a look at the futures market. Let's go see what we've got going on out here. Let's take a look at Dow futures. Let's go take a look at the Dow, see what it is doing out here. The Dow obviously struggling a bit yesterday because of IBM, yet however, with IBM, as difficult as it was, 89, accounting for 80 or 90 Dow points to the downside by the time it was all said and done. The Dow did pretty good. Doesn't sound to me like a bear market when you take a look at how that is handling things. In fact, if you take a look at the Dow futures, what a lot of people will use is we'll take a look at swing points, right? You hear about talking about getting back inside a range and things of that sort. Well, if you take a look at the Dow futures, the getting back inside their range was getting above 16,143. Well, shoot, folks. It did that with wide price spread on the 17th of January. So now what do we know about the Dow? Well, the Dow here probably set to take off today. If we take a look at the retracement level here from the high of September 19th down to the low out here, October 15th, it's above the 0.382 retracement. No reason for the Dow not to head up to 16,702. I suspect that is its next target out there. Look, I don't know that this is going to be just a rocket ship shot to the upside. It could be. This could be like that August 8th area where it just simply never gave the bulls the opportunity to get in. All you had to do was punch a ticket and just simply jump on board. So it is possible that that's what we're looking at. Personally, even though I'm calling a significant bottom, I don't think that's the case. I think we're in store for one more little shakeout up there for those folks who believe Santa's going to deliver coal. But that is not the case. This is Steve Rhodes. This is TFNN. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Right now, Dow Futures up 73, NASDAQ up 40, S&P up 11 points out there. And next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, the folks at eSignal, eSignal is one of our newer partners out here. As you may know that we actually broadcast live. So our Tiger TV is live through their trading platform out there. If you go to the eSignal apps button, click on media, you actually see TFNN Tiger TV streaming live 24 hours a day through the charting application. They've asked me to go ahead and do a workshop. And I'm going to do one of my favorite workshops out there. So it's for eSignal subscribers. However, we've put a link on the TFNN homepage that would allow you to, it's a free workshop as well, so it allows you to gain access to. So under breaking news, the first line item under breaking news says free webinar with Steve Rhodes. That'll be your way to be able to access that. It's going to be a 1-hour workshop. It's going to be on the A to B equals CD tool. It's about learning how to buy and sell the D point out there. Go ahead and click on that. It's next Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. out there. So happy to do that workshop for the folks at eSignal. I had a request here. Sometimes it's so weird how email works. Now, email, I can't tell you the exact number, but it's got to be probably close to 500 to 1,000 emails that at least cross my, even with the filters. Now, many of them go to the junk mailbox out there, but I try to scan the junk mailbox for anything that a listener might have sent in. But then I'll respond to the emails if I can locate them. So if I haven't responded to you, go ahead and send me another email, something like that. And I respond within 24 hours, sometimes as soon as I possibly can out there. Now, one of our Tiger listeners, Tom, had yesterday asked about the GDX, and I did respond to Tom right away. So take a look at your junk email boxes as well. If you have sent something to me, because it's for some reason, the emails will go into a junk box. That's no good. But go ahead and take a look at that. But he was asking about the GDX, and he was asking about a lasting engulfing out here. Let me put the chart up on our screen out here. Candlesticks are so important, and it's so important to use them correctly out here. Now, he's using the term lasting engulfing, and Tom, no, it's not a lasting engulfing at all. It is a bearish engulfing. But his question was, does this bearish engulfing, this is from the trading session of Friday, October 17th, because it engulfed, he thought, the prior 4 or 5 sessions. The reality is it only engulfed the last session out here. It did not engulf this session here from October 15th. But the question was, is it more powerful? Look, there are two competing patterns inside of the GDX. The one, in my opinion, that is most powerful is the one that occurred at the lows out here. And the one that occurred at the lows was on the October 8th standpoint. And this here was a bull sash and a key reversal session. Now, the GDX had been hammered, had been crushed, just as gold and silver has been crushed. But the reality is, I'll share this chart with you. Let me go pull that up while I'm talking about it. If I can. Yeah, it's out here. Oh, the reality is that is a significant reversal signal. Now, the GDX, because it's a high-volume bar and it was volume moving higher, and it's also at the lows, it's possible that low will be tested, $20.11. I don't think so. Right now, I think the GDX is trading above the 2137 level out here. But I'll put this chart up on my screen. Now, there are a lot of people in a camp that gold and silver are going to trade much lower. I am not one of those people. No, I'm not one of those people for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you take a look at this chart here, the upper portion of my chart is the weekly chart. The bottom portion of my chart is the weekly chart as well, but it's for the CFTC Commitment of Traders data. Now, a ton of data. You got access to it. You can download it in spreadsheets. You got access to the data going back to 2006, I think, or something along those lines out here. And I take a look at the weekly data. I take a look at the weekly. It's only weekly data. If we take a look at the gold contract here, it made an A to B equals CD to the downside. And it did that. The week ended, made that pattern. The week ended October the 3rd. And then what does it do the following week, October the 10th? That's it looks like a bullish engulfing bull sash. Key reversal on a weekly basis. Key reversal sessions, they are very important to be paying attention to. So you got a nice reversal signal. We've seen a move up. And at the bottom of the chart out here, this is the Commitment Traders data for the commercials. They are the large commercial traders, banks, big money, presumed to be the smart money. They typically get the trade right eventually. Now, they take a while to maneuver their ships out there. It's not like they're in a little speedboat. And what they've done is they've got down, back here as the gold was making its low, the week of October 3rd, the week of October 11th, they had gotten down to some of the least dead short positions that they have had, well, really since the bottom that had formed back here in June of 2014. Gold is on its way higher. This is Steve Rhodes, TFNN. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full custom optimization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
And we're off to the races. We got the Dow up 79 points, S&P up 16. Composite up 48, Russell 2000 up 7, NDX 100 up 40. New York Stock Exchange up 71 points, extending its gains out there. Popping to the upside, Illumina, ILMN, up a nice $13 this morning, up 8%. Harley, the Hog Davidson, up 8%, up 470. Google, up 370. Signature BK, SBNY, up 3% this morning. Valiant Pharmaceuticals, VRX, up $3 and change. Apple up $3 to the downside. Lockheed Martin, LMT is a ticker symbol. They're off 5%, down $8 and change. Rhino off 648. IBM down 380 right now. XRS, ticker symbol for Tal Ed Group, off 7%. ARM Holdings down 6.5% out here. Rent-A-Car Inc., Rent-A-Center probably, Rent-A-Center, RSII, That's off a bit. Coke is down a few bucks out here. Let's take a look at, what do we want to take a look at first out here? Let's go take a look at, let's go take a look at the indices. Let's go take a look at the Dow right now, because the Dow, which had struggled out here. So we took a look at the Dow futures. If we take a look at the Dow, we take a look at retracements. Now this is considering the trouble with IBM yesterday. Man, it's a really strong-looking stock chart out here. So we'll see. And IBM obviously struggling here this morning out here, trading down just a bit. So we'll take a look at IBM. You got the Dow above the 0.382 retracement level. 16,779 is likely the next stop for the Dow. It needs to get above 16,515 out here. But all in all, not looking too shabby out here. Let me see if I can get my crosshairs back. That would be nice. Makes it a little bit easier for me to be able to see what's going on. Visible. Okay, good. Okay. So that's the Dow. Let's take a look at the Russell 2000. So the Russell 2000, we know that rejected. It's got back inside the consolidation pattern out here. If we take a look at the Russell, now the Russell here is taking on this little junior swing point area back here from October the 3rd. So the high there is 1109.87. May run into some agitation there. If we take a look at coming from the high out here from September the 3rd, inside the Russell down to the low on October the 15th, you can see right now today it has poked its head above the 0.382 retracement. So the Russell could be on its way to the 1129 level. Now, inside the Russell 2000, a very clear V-shaped bottom out here, which is what you want to see when you come off of those major bottoms inside of the marketplace. Inside of the Russell 2000, if we take a look at some other kind of V-shaped-ish bottoms out here, certainly you've got one that took place here at as the market was making a low back on February the 5th. So you've really got the same kind of a pattern out here inside of the Russell 2000. Remember, it's the Russell thought to be the weakest link out there. I would hearken to say it's most likely going to become the strongest link inside of the market. It doesn't mean it's a straight shot to the upside out here, but it is certainly something to be focused on and paying attention to. Let's go check out some of these stocks out here that are popping and dropping. Let's take a look at Illumina, ILMN, up a nice 8% out here with the numbers yesterday, trading a little bit off of its pop to the upside. But what Illumina is doing, it has a high volume high out here that it is after. It was a key reversal session as well. So in the case of Illumina, July 24th, that high is very important. That high, let me move this up here so I can actually see it. That high is 185 even Steven. So if it can take that out, now volume out there was 2.8 million shares. You've done 451,000 shares as we speak today. So Illumina looks to be headed for that level out here. It's a really not a bad-looking stock chart. If we pull this back here, let me see, is there any danger Will Robinson signs out here? And there really isn't inside the sector. Maybe if I pull back a little bit further. Okay, so here's what Illumina had been doing. Now, so Illumina had a big breakout session. That took place back here. Looks like a couple of them. But the one that I'm focused on is the one from January 17, 2014 in the $134 area. It had moved up with a volume of 7.2 million shares. So Illumina, in essence, has been in this little consolidation range. 134 to 183 is what we will call it. And if you see Illumina break above the 183 level out here, do it with some volume, take out a key reversal session. All those things are bullish. Above the 183.30-ish level, that's above the consolidation. The consolidation from 134 to 183, if I do my math correctly, 44, 54, 64, 84, that's a nice $49 out there. How do you like that? Even still, sometimes when I cut, paste, and assemble, I still have to use my fingers to get my feet, or to get my mind set out there. Anyway, so you got about a 50-point consolidation. That is in ticker symbol ILMN, Illumina. You got Biogen, BIIB. We've taken a look at this stock several times. This thing has shown nothing but really some pretty decent strength out here. Today, right now, it's trying to get above its market profile. Well, it's got a new market profile, so it's trying to get above the current one today. I'd have to go with the longer one, which is really in about the 319.57-ish type. You're trading right about that level out here. Illumina, all it did was just, not Illumina, Biogen just came back to its breakout area, which was down on the trading session of July 17th. They came back there with light volume. So Biogen should be headed to its highs out here back in the September 24th high, right around 347.75 out there. Harley Davidson, we know that is trying to take out a swing point. Let's go see what the hog is actually doing, what kind of volume. Yeah, 1.1 million shares inside of the hog, so it is getting back to this swing point. As we expect here, it should run into some kind of resistance, We'll see if it does. Pretty good volume today, 1.1 million shares going after a swing point that has 3 million shares. But it's this little downdraft session of 9 million shares out here today. If it can really muster the strength, I say it goes and it repairs that window and closes it by getting up into the 6680-ish type level. Close above 6680 would be very bullish for Harley-Davidson HOG. Let's take a look at some things that are on fire this morning. Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, gapping down off 31 buckaroonies, trading out at 621, down about 5% out here. Let's go see what this is doing. Pulling back into its sign of strength. I think we talked about this yesterday. And we said, hey, Chipotle, so far there had been nothing negative as we took a look at Chipotle. Now, volume today, 309,000 shares, which you'd like to really see it do. You'd love to see it come back to the 596.90-ish area. Remember, we go back to the swing point that's got the lightest volume before that actual breakout. And that really sets us up to the price range for Chipotle, the potential buy on it, between about 579.81 to 596.90. That would be the gift if it would get back out there. Now, the problem is, it's inside this gap here. So short of any kind of reversal signal out here, there's no reason to step in front of this. But if it can pull back, now today it's going to have pretty good volume in it. But if it can pull back in that 596, 579 area with some light volume, that might set up a nice buy. Might be just a consolidation, but it's a good one because the top of the consolidation would be at about probably the 697-ish type area. That is on ticker symbol CMJ Chipotle. Let's take a look at Lockheed Martin, see what Lockheed Martin is doing. LMT is the ticker symbol. Gapping down is what it's doing this morning. Out with the revenues of $11 billion versus 11, so really the same, just slightly under it. Net income, for whatever reason, not showing up on my screen here, but let's go take a look at what stock traders think of Lockheed Martin. Now, Lockheed Martin has this little gap up, this little sign of strength out here, albeit a small one. That took place out here right around July 21st, 22nd, the 163 type range out there. Now, that had volume on that session of 2.1 million shares, 558,000 so far today, so that is a little bit too much in the way of volume for Lockheed Martin. Let's pull this back a little bit further. If it breaks that level, then Lockheed Martin, let me put this on a weekly. I would say it probably tries to head back into the 156 range, but let's take a look at Lockheed. Let's go on a weekly chart, see if there's anything here that we should pay attention to. Yeah, you'd have to say, taking a look at the weekly chart more definitively, you'd have to say it probably pulls back into the swing point from July 7th out here, somewhere around 156 to the 160 area. It's only got 4.8 million shares, and it's only Tuesday, and we're talking 2.6 million shares, so it does look to me like that is likely where Lockheed Martin will trade into. On its weekly time frame, it's below its market profile low, so I think that's a pretty decent target area to be looking at. You got IBM. Let's go check out IBM, see what it's doing. I haven't mentioned Apple, so we should go take a look at Apple. Let's take a look at IBM. Big volume in it, taking out a B point here. Yesterday, it's going to take it out. Looks like it should take it out. That's the 172 area. Looks like it should take it out on a weekly basis. That weekly had 45 million. So far, you're at 26 million. Hey, a lot of time left in the week. Let's see what's really going on a daily chart out here for IBM. See if there's anything different. So you're already trading lower this morning. Big volume coming out of it yesterday for sure. Let me see here. Why isn't it grabbing any more data? I don't like when the system responds slowly like this. That's never a good sign. That's always a sign of an impending problem out here. That's a bummer. Okay, well, I'll have to skip the daily chart for IBM in order for me to go back and take a look at it. Maybe that's not the case with Apple. Let's go see what Apple is doing, AAPL, see what it is doing here this morning. Now, it's not going to show up on my charts as a big dollar mover. Wow. That is a problem. Okay, so I've got some kind of data feed issue going on here. That's a real bummer. Man, oh man. I'm going to try one more symbol here, see if it picks it up. No. Okay. So Stevie's going to go into what we're going to call a secondary mode. You got to have a backup in place out here. Let's go take a look at what's going on inside the futures contracts out here. That's going to be the easiest. I think our man Basil's still down under, so we'll take a look at a number of different tools. We'll take a look at Stevie tools, Rhodes momentum trading tools. We'll take a look at wave counts. We'll take a look at TAS profiles. This happens to be the NASDAQ daily chart out here. Now, the NASDAQ daily chart, as we speak right now, it's trading just slightly above its unfair high. So we take a look at our TAS market profile. That's at 3902.25. We're trading at 3908.50 right now. What do we know about the NASDAQ? Well, the NASDAQ here on a daily chart made a low back here on October 16th. The three-candle session, the three-candle reversal session here, little morning star. We can see the V-shaped pattern that we've got going on inside of the NASDAQ as we speak right now. Clearing this 3902 level today, that would be very bullish out here. And it's only in its first leg on the way up. We had, six legs on the way down as it got to that little F level out here. The trading session of October the 17th created a little buy signal using the Rhodes momentum trading indicators out here. So it looks to me like the NASDAQ is ready to go move towards its highs out here. If I take a look at retracements, should be able to do this out here. Take a look at retracements. This won't be exact because it doesn't have a magnet on here, but you're above the 0.382 level, so 39.53 is the next stop on the way up for the NASDAQ out here. We also know that the NASDAQ is back inside its range. It got back inside its range yesterday, meaning if we went back and we took a look at the August 8th swing point low, that would be normally a logical area. That price would have found resistance, and there was no resistance yesterday. Now, that is the daily chart for the NASDAQ. Looking pretty strong out here. Let's go take a look at the 5-hour energy drink chart out here for the NASDAQ. Looks like I've got maybe some of my data back out here, but let's just go through the NASDAQ. We'll look at the daily, the 5-hour, the 2-hour, and then we'll take a look at the 120-minute chart out here. If we take a look at the 5-hour chart, this looks to be in its fourth leg to the upside, leg D. So that continues on here for at least this 5-hour chart. This one doesn't complete until 2, so that means you got to go till 7 o'clock tonight utilizing my system out here. Now, we know that price is well above the TAS market resistance level here of 38.40. So everything looks to be long and strong. Now, when you get to that fourth level, you can begin to see a pullback out there. I'd sure like to see that, and that pullback I'd like to see would, in fact, be the NASDAQ pulling back to 38.40. 38.40, it's at 39.03, and I'm not saying it's going to do it right now. I'm just giving you that number of 38.40. People are going to say, if we see that, people are going to say, it's over. Time to jump on the short side. And I would say, not so fast out there. So I expect, I'm looking for maybe another little sharp pullback, the kind that just simply is what happens to everybody out there. They just start to get scared, and it's which side should I be on? So I say that ahead of time. I say that ahead of time because, as you know, for a good 10 days, maybe it was longer, I was saying what we're going to see is the market is going to be putting in a significant low out there. I'm not sure that too many other folks were actually saying that. I'm talking about the kind of Santa Claus rally significant low out there. And so we're seeing that unfold out here. And so at the same time, I'm also prepping you for some other kind of potential selling event. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But if it does, I don't want you to get shaken out. In fact, I want you to be looking for it. And then you're trying to identify your next place to come in on the market. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I see out here. In fact, I shared with you yesterday that Gartley buy pattern that is set up on all of the indices out here. So when we get back, we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the 120-minute chart out there. Hey, don't forget, go over to the homepage at TFNN.com if you'd like to get in on that e-signal webinar that I'm doing for them next Wednesday. It is a free workshop, but the only link you're going to see is on the page of TFNN.com on breaking thousands of testimonies.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
For S&P up 18, and speaking of the S&P, let's go take a look at that beautiful, and I do mean beautiful Gartley pattern that had set up out here as the market was making its lows. In fact, if we pull this back, I did this yesterday, This is the daily chart that we're taking a look at for the S&P 500. And if you were to go take a look at page 222 in H.M. Gartley's book that he wrote back in 1935, and so those patterns, they existed back then, they exist right now. And one of the things that he was trying to express back then is if you've ever missed out on a move, one of his ideal patterns was A to B equals CD in the opposite direction of that move, as a place to go ahead and get in. And if we take a look here, and I'm going to pull this to the daily chart. I don't recall where that A to B. Let me see if I, oh, come on, don't do that, actually. There we go. Okay. So now as we pull this back, yeah, it's right here. The last, off of this big move here from November 2012, the very first Gartley buy pattern that I actually set up what took place on confirmed June 24, 2013. There was an A to B equals CD to the downside. We have not seen an A to B equals CD to the downside since then. We're talking since June of 2013. And it's basically been a nice straight line, not straight line, it's been a nice move up, right? You're talking about going from June to basically September. So what do you got, 12, 15 type months out there? And here's the next Gartley buy pattern that's set up. That requires an A to B equals CD. The whole key is you want to learn how to master that C to D leg, and that's one of the things that I'll be reviewing and going over at the e-signal workshop here next Wednesday. Again, underneath breaking news on the homepage at TFNN.com. Of course, it really gave us that signal as it made the 1 to 1.618 A to B equals CD to the downside. And that was with a nice hammer candle. Remember, the S&P's got it's got a great signals here for both bulls and bears. It's like I can't control what the market's going to do. I can't control the Ebola, fear, any of those kinds of things. But what we can do is look what the market is communicating to us at this stage. We know that on a daily basis, the bulls are really lined up to support that level of 1820.66. And yeah, you get a break of that area if the market does cascade down and crushes through that level, then it looks like Santa will have been overrun by the Grinch out here. But I've got it on pretty good news that is not what is going to be the outcome out here. And so remember, there's always 5 outcomes of every Gartley pattern out here. And if we take a look at the S&P 500 specifically right now, and we take a look at measure those outcomes, we're already at past outcome number 1. Outcome number 2 is 1943.39. That's where price is headed to. And then 1976, and then 2019, and then 2100 something as it sets up that 5th and ultimate outcome here going into the holiday season. So it's going to be a good one for the market out here, and we're just seeing a continuation of that move. That does not mean that we don't see some kind of pullback. I would love to see just one more, and I don't know that it really I don't think it takes out the lows, but it probably gets maybe it gets scary for a day. But I don't even know if you can really wait for that, quite frankly. I'm just saying out here. And as we went back, or as I was taking a look at the NASDAQ, for example, on the 120-minute time frame, you're in that fourth leg up, that D leg out here. So when you get into that, now it's still continuing on. It can continue on for quite a while here. That's often where you might see some type of a pullback. That's what I would be looking for, is some type of a pullback here. So 2-hour chart kind of lining up with levels inside of the 30-minute chart as well. If we take a look at the 30-minute chart out here, I got to do this real quickly because we're just about to go out. You can see in the 30-minute chart here, we're also in that fourth leg up. So that's the outlook here, folks, as we head in to the holiday season. Shoot, we're not even to Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for being here. Have a terrific Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, folks.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This is TFNN.